Hi, everybody. I am super excited to share our first learning session on why you should fear failure. That's right. You heard me correctly. I think that failure is something that we really need to pay attention to. And, failure is not about procrastination. It's about operating in life and in business without primary goals outlined. If you fail to really know what you're about to accomplish and you don't do your homework, you will not fail strategically. Now, if you do your homework and you do your very best work possible, sometimes you can avoid the pitfalls in life. And, those everyday activities that you're trying to do in terms of accomplishing those goals, it's really important that you allow the fear of failure to be your motivator, anticipating the kind of the negative outcomes that can possibly occur. How can you avoid those pitfalls? What kind of risk are you willing to take even though you've done your due diligence? These are the things that help you to fail strategically. So I want to introduce myself. My name is Darlene Gon-Yan. It's pronounced Gon-Yan. And here is my contact information. I hope that you will get in touch with me via Instagram or follow me on Twitter, connect with me on Facebook, and obviously you can subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. I am the co-founder and CEO of We Connect Global Branding Agency, and I also am the co-founder of a separate company, which is Kinetic Promotional Products. And I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade and love helping other entrepreneurs grow and establish themselves in confidence when it comes to building their skill set. And so one of the things I wanted to do as I was looking and reflecting on my life last year when I turned 50 was how can I build a legacy of sharing the lessons that I've learned in life with others, including my family. And so as I present to you, I'm thinking about my adult children, and I'm hoping that this is a tool that they can carry with them and down to the next generations in life. And I'm hoping as I share it with you that it might become a blessing to you to either confirm what you already know or help you navigate through obstacles that you're facing right now or frustrations that you're facing right now. And as we get into this 2020 year, it's really, really important that we start looking at failure as a real motivation for us to look at the goals that we're setting, the life plans that we're putting in place as an opportunity to motivate ourselves so that we can self-reflect in the sense that we do not want to fail at accomplishing our goals. But inevitably, what happens with those New Year's resolutions? Yep, consequently, normally the percentages are pretty high that we end up backtracking from those resolutions and dropping the ball. And why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the goals that we set, we don't look at them as a guide to, navigate our internal compass to drive personal momentum. What we look at is our goals are a fail or succeed measurement, and there's no gray area in the middle. So when you're using internal fear to kind of drive that self-esteem of I am not going to fail to accomplish my goals, I want you to shift your mindset and look at, no, my real fear is that I'm not going to allow my inability to accomplish my goals attach shame to and a mindset that this has become a failure. No, it's not become a failure. Goals are a guide. And so your fear of failure needs to be wrapped around, did I do my homework? And did I strategically make sure that I've done everything to set myself up for success? And if for some reason I'm not able to accomplish those goals, did I use those goals as a compass to get me to my end game? And if I didn't do that, then I should be finding some sort of sense of self-reflection. There should be a fear of lack of planning, a lack of really making sure that if you fail it strategically, and there should be some fear around why in the heck am I attaching shame to not being able to being able to accomplish my goals. Okay, so I want to share with you, if you don't mind, the function of what goals should really entail. So look, goals should be that compass. And usually in the beginning of the year, we start off with the best intentions. We might gain traction. Maybe we join the gym. Maybe we set those business goals with our team. And then life happens. Distractions and adjustments occur. It could be that you lost a client that represents, 30% of your business, or your mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and so now you're being pulled out of your family life, and so you've got to concentrate on her care, or something else external happens. And what you need to understand that not accomplishing those goals, if you will, quote unquote, failure, is not the opposite of success. It's just part of success. And so when you make goals your end all be all and you don't accomplish those goals, that is when you attach failure and shame to not achieving those goals. And what I want you to look at is goals equal being a compass, being a rudder, being a guide. So it's very important from a mental health standpoint, because success is not a straight line, right? You've got that curve called failure. It kind of loops around to confusion. There might be speed bumps along the way where friends or family members might come and, interrupt what you're trying to do. You might have competition. You might have people that are toxic in your life that are standing in your way. You might have a loss of, business activity, or you might lose your career. But if you have what we call that spare of determination, if you've got that engine of perseverance and that willpower, you can make it to a place of success. And it's really, really important that you understand that going and accomplishing your goals is an emotional roller coaster. So you've got to be realistic, and that realistic point of view helps protect your mental health, to give you the stamina to keep going even when you get knocked down. You've got to make sure, as you're looking at that kind of brain map on the left of the screen, that you are moving through negative talk, moving through comparing yourself to others, and focused on the fact that, hey, my goals are important to me, but they're just the compass that is guiding me in the right direction. I will eventually get there. And you give yourself grace and you give yourself compassion. So when we're looking at, the importance of what you need to, do in terms of looking at that compass, point for your goals, I want you to really consider that when you're identifying your goals, you need to really identify them in two different buckets: focus and unification. So focus comes when goals are, have outcomes that are really worth achieving. And what happens is when you're focused on those goals, you stop focusing on less critical tasks. So everything that you do, you need to look at it in two functions. Is this going to get me into my end game? Is this a high payoff activity? And if not, can I delegate it? Can I delete it, get rid of it? Or do I need to do it because I am the only person that needs to do it? And the unification part is making sure that your whole team, if you're in business for yourself, or if you're leading a team within your company, that you guys are all unified and moving in the right direction. And most importantly, your foundation is knowing that your family, your spouse, life partner, is all on the same page on where you're headed with your own personal or business or spiritual or physical goals, so that you've got a built-in support system for yourself. So now let's talk about the types of goals, because this is another thing that people set themselves up for failure. They make all of their goals uber important, and they're not always uber important. This is where it's really important when you're looking at goal setting. You've got to look at the different types of goals, and you've got to look at the time frames, because some of them might be short term, some of them may be long term, and they usually fall into three categories of importance, if you will. And really important when you're looking at the categories of importance that you're also looking at how it might function within your business. So it might be for the individuals in your business, it might be for a division of your business, it might be for your entire company, it might be that it's for you individually or for your spouse individually or for your entire family as well. So when we look at those three types of goals, the first one are critical goals. These are non-negotiable. Non-negotiable goals are those goals that you have to survive. You have to make X amount of dollars to make sure that your cost of living expenses are paid for. You have to make sure that you're invested in your marriage doing X, Y, Z in order to keep your marriage or your partnership alive and well, because you're only as good as, what's happening in your home life. Enabling goals, those are kind of long-term goals. Those are goals that if I work on them now, they may not, fill an immediate need, but they might facilitate the achievement of something long-term. So an example of that would be maybe there's some sort of professional development that you need to invest in. You need to surround yourself with other like-minded entrepreneurs, so you join an organization so that they can help facilitate, knowledge to you so that you can grow individually and then professionally as an entrepreneur. So that may not have an immediate effect on your life, but it may have a long-term effect on your life and your business and your family. And nice to have goals. These are those goals that involve, kind of making more personal and business more pleasant. They're not supercharged, meaning you may want to have a goal to buy a Ferrari, but life is not going to deal you, a hard hand if you don't accomplish those goals. So when you are creating goals, you look at these three different buckets and you kind of place them in those buckets, and then you set those priorities accordingly. And when you are using these goals as your compass and your guide, you can give yourself a little bit of grace, a little bit of empathy if you don't accomplish all of them. The only ones that are super critical are what? Number one, those are the goals that you really got to plan for. But 2 and 3, you can kind of work through and navigate through. Okay, make a little bit of sense? So let's talk about how you get your goals aligned. How do you make sure they're aligned with you personally and with your business? So you always want to, when you're looking at business, create what we call cascading goals. What's the overall company goal? Where are we headed? What's the department goal, right? So you might say, what's our overall company goal? Well, our overall company goal is we need to scale and grow top line sales by 15%. So that comes down to sales and marketing. So what are they going to do to help accomplish those goals? And then down to the individual, what are the individual activities that it's going to take to do this? A great way to share this with your team is, our company goal is this, my department's going to contribute to this, and my part of that effort is this, and have them help you work through those strategies. And that can also work for your personal life as you're working with your spouse life partner, you're working with your family. You can tell your family, look, I want my life goal to be this, and I hope that you can contribute to this goal this way. And I hope your individual part will be this, or my individual part will be that, and they can do the same thing for you in return as well. So it makes a real great unification when companies or business strategies and your personal strategies are all mapped out in these kind of cascading goals. And of course, the one thing that you always want to be thinking about when you're looking at cascading goals is really looking at all aspects of your life. So looking at how you can enhance, your mental state, how you can work on your spiritual aspects, whether that's, meditation, mindfulness, or if you have a religious affiliation, how you can incorporate prayer or learning, etc. What can you do to develop yourself ongoing? And then from there, how do you enhance the relationship with your partners and strive to eliminate toxic relationships in family and friends, and making sure that you've got healthy surroundings when it comes to the people that are around you. And then financial and material should always be last, because at the end of the day, if you're not happy internally, having material aspects later on top of that is not going to be fulfilling or rewarding. Look at the priority of how this is laid out. First, if you don't start with your mental health and your physical health, you're no good to anybody else. So it needs to start with your own internal power, your own internal self-esteem. So whatever you need to do to make sure that you are thinking healthy thoughts about yourself and listening to the internal voice, that's always your number one priority. And then the rest kind of fall in line, right? You are only as good to others as you are good to yourself. You treat others how you treat your own self. Very, very important. Now, I'm just going to share a best practice, and I think that this is something that I've learned, is that 8 out of 10 of my personal goals are usually focused on self-improvement. And then half of our business goals that I set for my companies are typically focused on leadership and skill improvement. The better that we get internally, the better we get externally with the skills, the easier it is for us to accomplish our goals in life and in business as well. And so, I always say the first conversation you have to have is not with your wife or your husband or your partner or with your children or with your family members or with your employees or your leadership team. It's with yourself. You've got to look in the mirror and say, what do I need to work on for myself so that I can be the best individual in leading my family or leading my business or leading my peers, etc. And you've heard me say this over and over again. Your business or professional life is only as good as your home life. And when I say home life, I'm talking about your own self and then what's happening in your home environment. I don't care how strong of an individual you are or how much you've had to overcome in your life. If you don't take care of what's going on at home and get that solidified, you cannot go into your professional career with a clear mind, clear thinking. So take care of your home first, get it where it needs to be, and then move forward in trying to achieve those major milestones in your business or your professional career. Now, we're going forward with kind of goal alignment and furthering the conversation. Remember, we talked about, cascading goals. You've got to know what your vision is for your life and for your business, and then how that is broken down. And so it's called the WBS, structure. The WBS is the acronym for work breakdown structure. You've got to break down those goals. You've got to prioritize those tasks. You've got to put them in the order that they need to be done within, so they're not scattered. You need to estimate the time, and then you've got to report to yourself or to your family or to your employees where you guys are at in all of the structure of the goals that you've outlined. And we've got a great business tool. It's located under business tools on our www.weconnectglobal.com website. And this is a great goal, and I call it the push the possibilities, because that's my tagline. This is my annual goal worksheet. And so you can see when you're looking to prioritize your goals and get them really structured and organized. You can put your goal name to the left. You can set the priority if you've got the resources. Are you on schedule? You're on budget? What's the value? Are you at risk for getting it done? Who's responsible for it? Do you need help with a family member? What kind of life or business objective are you trying to accomplish? And describe it and talk about next steps. And there's a great second tab that's got a massive summary so you can look at all the work activities that have to happen for you to accomplish those. So download that. It's complimentary. There's no catch. We're not going to be over marketing to you whatsoever. Just use it, because we know that when you're successful in your life and we give the people the tools, givers gain. So we know that we'll make it up in karma somewhere else. So go take advantage of that tool. So when we look at SMART goals, right, and those are the SMART goals are what you're going to be documenting on that worksheet. You can look at SMART goals as specific, they're measurable, they're achievable, they're results focused, and they're time bound, right? What is the specific goal that we're trying to accomplish? What's your why behind it? Why is it important for you? How are you going to measure if you achieve it or not? How are you going to measure if your marriage has been enhanced? Maybe you need to ask your spouse, like, if we are going to work on making our marriage more enhanced, can we do a check-in? Can we do a date night and check in on the temperature of our marriage? Is it really achievable? Is it possible? Have others done it successfully? So if you're trying to scale your business in 1 year to 1 million and you're at ground zero, you're just a startup, is that achievable? Do you have the skill set to get that job done? And is it results focused? What's the benefit of accomplishing that goal, or are you off the wrong track? So one of the things that we do in business with our goals is what we call cash acceleration. And there's a great book on the We Connect global website, and the website address is at the bottom of the screen, called Scaling Up. And it's one of the best books that I ever read that really helped take our business to another level. So results focus, when we're talking about that, one of the things that we implement is what we call cash acceleration strategies. What are the things we're going to start doing to drive cash in the door? What are the things we're going to stop doing that drains cash, wasted expenses? And what are the things that are working? What are the things that we're going to keep doing that are working for our business? And we go over those goals every single cycle, not quarter, cycle. It takes us about 4 months to accomplish those goals. So that's something that's really, really invaluable when it comes to result focus. We give people enough time, that time bound, to get those results in the door. So we have set our goals to be cycle goals, not quarterly goals. The first month, we're trying to accomplish the goals that we need. We're trying to determine the goals that we need to accomplish. We're trying to communicate that out to our team members. And then those next 3 months, we're working on accomplishing those goals. So I want you to remember something as we're wrapping up, that, we all have big dreams, and I want you to dream very, very big. Believe it or not, I've got a 20-year goal plan. And, am I on track? In some areas I am. Some areas I'm not. I did this when I started at 50. But those goals that I have mapped out for the next 20 years, I am doing everything I can to guide my way through that direction. And I'm waving in and out. Health issue happens here. Something happens with a family member. Have an employee that may not be performing, so we've got to replace the employee. Whatever those obstacles are, I'm still crossing over those obstacles and moving in the direction of accomplishing those goals. So I believe in dreaming big, but I know that if I had big dreams and I did not have those goals mapped out in a worksheet that I showed you earlier, that I would not know what to do next. And I would continue to be unraveled and continue to be unfocused when I hit a speed bump, I'd end up stopping and then figuring out, okay, what do I got to do next? No, I go back to my worksheet. I follow that worksheet. And I tell you, I keep this in a notebook. I keep it on my desk. I refer back to that notebook to say, where are we at in our business plan? Where am I at in my life plan? What have I not tackled? What can I touch right now? What can move me in the right direction? What do I have to pause on? What do I have to start doing, stop doing, keep doing to help me get to the end game of those goals? And remember, dreams without goals are only dreams. So your biggest fear should be not preparing yourself for success, not doing your due diligence, not mapping out your goals, and most importantly, when you map out those goals, you've got to be very realistic. Do you have the skill set to get those goals done? Are you thinking pie in the sky? Have you done your homework, your research, your competitive analysis? Have you gotten a mentor to help you to navigate through those goals to make sure that they're realistic? Are you giving yourself compassion if you have done all of that homework and life has interrupted the process of getting to your end game of those goals? Are you detaching shame from failure? And the irony of this, it's so cool. The irony of this is that I just heard a speaker yesterday talk about detaching shame from failure. You got to detach it. The only time you should feel shame if you didn't do your due diligence, if you didn't get the skill sets or do the homework and you made decisions in a vacuum. That's the only time you should really say, you know what, shame on you, but move on. Now I know better. When we know better, we do better. So I hope, giving you an overview of how goals need to be your guide, how to map out your goals. Go back to some of those slides so you can do your homework. Download that worksheet. Go to our website. You see the website address below. Be sure to connect with me on social media. Leave comments below. I would love your feedback on what are the things that you're struggling with as an entrepreneur. What are the things that you're struggling with as an individual? And I'll try to share a little bit of my head knowledge with you. I think being on the planet for 50 years has not given me all the credibility I need, but it certainly has given me a little bit. And I really care about seeing others that maybe don't have a mentor in their life, don't have a parent figure in their life, don't have a friend right now in their life to help them along. I hope that I can be that alternative voice for you. And for my own children, I hope this is a tool that can help you as you move and continue to grow. I'm so proud of you and love you with tons of abundance, and proud of all the things that you're achieving in life as well. So I send my love to you guys. Take care of yourself. Have an awesome week or weekend coming up whenever you're watching this. And stay tuned for our learning calendar that's going to be coming up, that we're going to be launching through www.weconnectglobal.com down below, where we are going to get into some great learning on how to take your business to the next level through great, simplified, tactical marketing strategies that can really help you in scaling your business and growing your business. I'm very excited to share this new learning calendar with you, and it'll be launching here January 2020. So look forward to sharing that with you. In the meantime, I want you to keep pushing the possibilities in every aspect and area of your life. Take care of yourself, and we will talk soon.